Hi, everybody. This is Georgia with Enough Faith for today. I thought I just made a video, but apparently I didn't. So we'll start over. Okay, this is about running on autopilot. We all run on autopilot at some point. Good example, you're driving somewhere, and next thing you know, you just drove yourself home, and that's not where you had intended to go. But this is about running on autopilot in a negative way. Okay, having those negative mindsets, um, constantly steering you in the wrong direction. Okay, every choice is a dot in your little connect the dot picture, and the choices you make steer you either in a good direction or a not so good direction, maybe a neutral direction. But I want to touch on a Bible verse. It is Luke chapter 9, and it says, "For it is the least among you all that will be the greatest." And good examples in the Bible would be Gideon. Okay, he was the least of these. David, of course, was the least of these. They just left him out in the field, didn't want nothing to do with him. And there's some other least of these, okay? You are a least of these. I'm a least of these, okay? And I'm talking to the people that have been through a lot of crap in their lives, who have grown up in, bad homes, bad situations. And I'm going to tell you I can relate, okay? Cuz I'm going to give you a little background on me and my life. I had a rough childhood, okay? A lot of drinking in my home. My mother, God rest her soul, I love her, bless her. She is the reason I am who I am today. Like, seriously. But she had a lot of depression and a lot of emotional issues. And ever since I was a young child, I have just been in a horrible upbringing with different types of abuse and basically in a survival mode my whole life. And where did I write that down? I think I got the wrong page here. But throughout my life, as growing up, after like the childhood stuff, first suicide attempt at 9. At 14, one of my good friends hung herself. And before I was 20, another friend of ours killed himself, shot himself. Um, a great cousin, two of my cousins that I love very dearly, both killed themselves. And they were in their 20s when that happened. And so was I. Let's see, a 7-year-old little boy that was part of my life for a moment, for a little time. He killed himself. And I grew up in a place that has the nickname Vietnam. Okay? Like, it's Fayette County, but it's called Vietnam. Like, that's the nickname this place has where I grew up. Through all this stuff. And I think I qualify as least of these. At least as the world sees us. Okay? And I try to be the voice for the people that are out there working their 9 to 5s, doing things to the best of their ability to be right and to be good in this world. And they are still just being oppressed. The cost of living is just, it's hard. I don't even know how anybody survives without a 2-income family, which I survive on my 1 income, but my kids help. They work, so they help. So if you just have 1 income, man, I'm praying for you, because that's hard. So, it says here, what did I write down? Okay, so as I was growing up and going through all this stuff, I lived in an environment where everybody around me was numbing themselves in one way or another. Um, School, you had at least 2 fights a week at school. Thank God back then it was just fist thrones. But you cannot thrive in a survival mode like this. When your brain's on autopilot and you come from this type of situation, this is what you grew up in, because I'm not the only person that has grown up in these types of situations. Mine might be a little bit worse than somebody else's, or mine might be a little bit easier than somebody else's. But in general, growing up in these impoverished areas of, the world, okay, and you just got to go through in survival mode. It's exhausting for one, especially when it starts as a child in your childhood. But you cannot thrive in survival mode. That autopilot where it's like, oh, protect yourself, don't trust them. They're talking about you behind your back. And all these lies that the devil throws in your head to make you think that you aren't good enough, or that your opinion doesn't matter, or that your life will always just be nothing and just a struggle. Why bother? Oh, that's a lie he likes to tell you. Why bother? Because it matters. It matters. Every choice that we make as human beings matter to how our world moves forward. And this, like every video I ever make, comes from the passion in my heart to build our children a brighter future. And as adults, we are responsible to at least give them a stepping stone. Okay, there's lots of things that can keep you stuck in survival mode as you grow up. Like as you grow up, you get older and you're like, okay, and you realize, well, maybe I am in survival mode. Okay, limiting beliefs. I'm not smart enough. You can get smart. Okay, perspective. Okay, I don't have enough money. You can do something to create some more money. Time management is the best way to look at your time management. And let's see. I'm not their type. I'm not their type. How do you know you're not their type? Did you ask them? Here's one that I found interesting, because this is stuff I was Googling. Perfectionism and an all or nothing attitude. How can wanting to be perfect be a bad thing? Because you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Okay? Sometimes you just got to look at something and be like, you know what? Good enough. Good enough. And it puts you in this all or nothing mentality where you don't even want to try, because you figure, well, if there's a chance of failure, I'm not going to bother, because that's nothing. It's not all. And anything in life is not certain. That's all there is to it. Like you have no certainties in life. You have to move forward in faith, in discipline, and in confidence. If you want to get somewhere, you got to have the confidence. You got to have the consistency, the discipline, and faith, baby. Faith, bring it on, because that just makes it so much better. Okay, the victim mentality. Victim mentality will keep you in survival mode. Ooh, that's a hard one. Now, I listed all that stuff that I went through as a child, and like stuff carried over into my adulthood. I mean, honestly, I'm the person I am right now today because of the work I started putting into myself 2 years ago. So it is a process. Okay, so 2 years ago, I started this journey. And now I can stand here with confidence, with discipline, and with faith and tell you victim mentality is a lie. It is a lie. Forgive and let go, and then choose to build your life. Okay? Don't give anybody else control over your life. Okay? I have every reason to play victim mentality, but that will keep you in this world that you don't want to be in. Okay? Like, it'll put you in a headspace that you don't want to be in. You don't want to live in victim mentality. You want to live in, like, I'm a badass and I got this and I survived that and bring it on. That's how you want to live. Confidence. Okay. Comparison, jealousy, entitlement, self-sabotage. That's something I was guilty of. Self-sabotage when things start going really good and you're like, oh man, yeah, this is going good. And your mindset, your survival mode is telling you, well, something bad's going to happen down the road because it's getting too good. So why don't we just screw it up now so at least we have control over how it gets screwed up? I hope that makes sense to somebody, because I said that very plainly, very clear, and direct. That's how it works in your brain. Okay, and what's this one? Okay, yeah. So you have to retrain your brain to run on a positive autopilot. Okay, positive autopilot. Once you get older, I believe it comes easier. I'm not sure what it would be like to go through this as a child, because I didn't have that chance to do that. But as a grown-up, you can look at your situation now and you can tell your brain, like literally tell your brain, like, you need to chill pill on the survival mode, because we are actually pretty safe right now. We have a home, you know, we have a car, we have all the necessities we need, and we're safe. So just tone it down a notch, okay? And start replacing all those negative thoughts that you have with positive ones. Attitude of gratitude works. It takes practice. And the thing with autopilot is it's hard to shut it off, okay? The survival mode's going to keep wanting to kick back in and repeat the same cycles that it's been repeating. So you really have to work at this. That's why it's been 2 years for me, okay? So you have to work at that positive mindset, that attitude of gratitude autopilot. Even when a problem comes up, take notice of things that trigger you, okay? If there's people that trigger you, try to avoid them, but don't just try to avoid them. Sit down and try to process through your thoughts and your feelings. Why are they triggering you? And then pray about it. That's my best advice. Pray about everything. Worry about nothing. We all have doubts, though. We all have doubts. We all have worries. And some people have really big concerns, too. Health issues, loved ones. But I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to ramble on at this point. But I hope this helps somebody, because you cannot thrive in survival mode. You can't. You can thrive in a positive outlook, in a gratitude mindset. That you can thrive in. And that you can, even once you get so good at doing it that it becomes autopilot for you, not only does your gratitude start to serve you in your life in the way you are filled with peace and joy, but it will actually start to overflow into other people that are around you, if they allow it. But I guess that's all I got for today. hope y'all have a blessed day. Say your prayers. America Discovers God Again, Day of Prayer. It's a prayer movement I'm working on. It takes all of us to do it, though. And like I said, I'm just a little lady trying to help people and help us to fight back with the oppression and depression that's being like pushing us down. It's been pushing us down. Oppression leads to depression. And that leads to more and more darkness in this world. And it's about time that we get together and shine our light, because we need to build our children a brighter future. You can check out my other videos, but it's the America Discovers God Again Day of Prayer. It's held at the American Discovery Trail. You can just Google American Discovery Trail. Find your spot. It's a trail that goes the whole way across the United States of America, straight through the middle. Across the time zones, you want to be there. Pacific time would be 10 a.m. Mountain is 11, Central is 12, and East Coast is 1. And it's on October 18th, 2026. And it is going to be a yearly event every third Sunday in October every year, where we get together, we shine God's light, uniting the body of Christ, okay? Because that's what this nation needs. We need some unity. Lift our voices, give God praise, and let Him start releasing some healing into our nation. This has been 10 years. 10 years I've been working on this. God bless y'all. I hope this helps somebody. And if you want more information on the American Discovery Trail, check my videos out. I got tons of them. Bye.